High Point, Mississippi. All right, y'all. Well, my name is Miranda. I am currently serving as your APHA ASP National President. I am a final year student pharmacist from the University of New Mexico, so in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I want to thank you all for joining our Foundation Scholarship webinar tonight. And I will kick things over to our APHA Foundation Executive Fellow, Christian, who's going to start things off for the night. So, Christian, take it away.
Thank you, Miranda. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Cristian Rodriquez. I'm the current executive fellow with the APHA Foundation. Today, obviously, we're going to be talking about scholarships, but I want to do a little bit of an overview of what the foundation is as well, because I'm sure, no fault of your own, you probably don't know what the APHA Foundation is, which is okay. I didn't as a student either, but now that I'm the fellow, I have a pretty good understanding, I would like to think. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. I know it's late for some of us here, so go ahead and get started. So the APHA Foundation is the direct nonprofit arm of APHA. Essentially, we don't have members at the foundation. So I know a lot of students have asked me how do I become a member of the APHA Foundation. We actually don't have members. We have donors. So it's a little bit of a mindset change where you have to think about it instead of member dues that you're paying, you're actually just doing direct donations. So instead of members, we have donors. So that's really how you get involved with the APHA Foundation. And the best part of those donors is that money comes to me and we directly turn that back around to students, pharmacists in the form of scholarships, grants, really anything to help promote our mission of improving quality of patient health outcomes. So that's why I kind of got sucked into the foundation. I say sucked in a positive light because using that money to directly impact the lives of others is really impactful for me and is the reason why I'm now the foundation fellow today. So, quick update, we do have a new website. I've had a few people reach out to me and let me know that they're getting a 404 error when they go to aphafoundation.com or .org, or they're having trouble finding the scholarship link. It's probably because we have a new website. So make sure to use the QR code, save it, take a picture, write it down, whatever you got to do to make sure you guys have access to our new website. It's new and improved, very easy to use on the mobile platform as well. So very user-friendly. New website, go check it out. So now a little bit about some new opportunities we have with the foundation geared towards students. Obviously, if you're a final year student, you can come and be me next year and be the executive fellow with the APHA Foundation. Kind of a potpourri of different APHA opportunities. I do have my home here with the foundation, but I get to do rotations in other departments such as Board of Pharmacy Specialties, the Education Department, Government Affairs, Professional Affairs. So get a well-rounded experience with association management. So definitely something to look into if you're interested in going down that route. They call it non-traditional pharmacy, but I don't like the term non-traditional, so I will call it association management pharmacy. The Carl F. Emsweiler summer internship. So Rachel Lucky got the chance to do that. Your national president-elect this past summer. She spent a month with us in DC. I call it a long API before you go into your API year. So she got the chance to work with APHA, specifically in student development. She did a lot of work for SLI, but she obviously got a lot of foundation touches from me sitting right across from her in the bullpen. So good opportunity for, I believe, third year student pharmacists, correct, Rachel? Or second years going into their third years. Yes, there you go. The API program is the whole reason my door opening that got me into the fellowship was doing the API program. Final nail in the coffin that really told me that I want to do association management as a career was through the API program. And I did mine with student development. But maybe this is a new announcement for everyone. For the first time in a while, we are opening up an APHA Foundation specific API program. So you get to come and work with the APHA Foundation directly with Dr. Emily Albers, who will be the preceptor, and get to see the foundation on a whole front. So that's brand new. If you guys are interested in that, let me know and we'll get to check that out. I actually just got a message from my boss, Brian Wall. It's been 10 years since we actually had the foundation API. So 10-year anniversary of not having it, we decided to just go ahead and have it again. And last but not least, brand new committee appointments within the APHA Foundation. So if you're looking for leadership opportunities, trying to build that professional portfolio of yours as you get into your final years of pharmacy school, definitely opportunities with the foundation is going to be something you want to look into. And these are not labor intensive committee positions. I think women in pharmacy is something around 10 hours per year is the time commitment for it. So it's a bunch of different meetings geared towards highlighting women in pharmacy, Research and innovation is around, I think it said 3 to 4 hours per year. These numbers are probably all wrong, but this is kind of what I'm remembering. 3 to 4 hours per year, and you get to work with the Research and Innovation Committee within the APHA Foundation, gearing where do we want to put that donor money towards the research development, towards advancing patient health outcomes. And lastly, philanthropy, uh, probably about the same, about 3 to 4 hours per year. Get to sit in on these meetings where we're deciding the direction of the APHA Foundation. And the QR code on the screen actually will take you directly to the committee appointments. So you can go ahead and apply for those. Applications will be due December 1st, same date as everything else pretty much within APHA ASP, due on December 1st. So make sure to check those out, and we will continue moving forward. So I talked a little bit earlier about how to become a quote unquote member of the foundation or donor of the foundation. And the 1953 Society is a great way to do so. It's the donor society within the APHA Foundation, special group of student pharmacists, new practitioners, and pharmacists who are recognized for leadership commitment to pharmacy and improving health. The best part about this for students is it is $19.53. For context, when you become a pharmacist, it is $1,953 per year. It's a great opportunity to get involved now while you have the chance as a student before it becomes almost $2,000. When you become a pharmacist, I will say you will have more money. So I definitely think you should still be donating to this great cause. Some of the money that goes to the 1953 Society comes directly back to the students as well. So when you become a pharmacist, continue to donate. But when you have the chance to get in for $20, you're going to want to get in now. I think Rachel will be putting the link in the chat for you guys if you want to go in and donate, become a quote unquote member of the foundation or a donor to the foundation. These are your membership dues. So $20 to become a member of the foundation. All right, let's get started with scholarships. The reason you guys are all here. Go ahead and go to the QR code here. It will pull up the direct link to the scholarship application. And you guys can kind of follow along with me a little bit as we talk through all things APHA Foundation scholarship. So the scholarships, like I said, I was a scholarship recipient back in 2023, and that really opened my eyes to what the foundation was doing on the back end here, really trying to advance patient health outcomes. And these are some fantastic, selfless people that continue throughout the years to give money back to student pharmacists just like you guys. More details can be found about all these individuals on the actual scholarship webpage through the foundation website. But I just think it's really incredible that all these people come back every single year, continue to give money to fund the careers of student pharmacists. So I wanted to highlight them and give them a little shout out in this picture as well. This is Dr. Ted Tong, who is actually my foundation scholarship donor back in 2023. Still has a scholarship now. So if you guys want to follow in my footsteps, Ted Tong is right here. The best part in my mind, obviously money is great, but for the foundation, like I said, it was a great opening for me to come and do the fellowship. And that was all through networking and getting to know people in the foundation, obviously. The APHA Foundation Contributors Breakfast takes place usually on the Monday of APHA annual meeting, but this year it's being done on the Sunday of annual meeting. So in Nashville, Tennessee, March 23rd from 8 to 9:30 a.m. Get the chance to come and actually meet your scholarship donor like some of these recipients from last year got to do. I see Priscilla on the call, and she's there with Tom Minigan, who's actually a past APHA CEO. So a little plug there for Priscilla. But great chance, like I said, to get to meet these donors and build that professional network of yours. This is where it gets a little boring, but I'm going to go through the criteria and some of the requirements, obviously, because in order to get these scholarships, you have to qualify. So as you have to at least have completed 1 year of pharmacy school. So second through final years, you guys are all qualified for an APHA Foundation scholarship. You have to have at least a 2.75 on a 4.0 scale or equivalent grading system for those of you who are pass fail. It's on the website for the actual conversion as well. And then you have to obviously be a member of APHA ASP. So active member of APHA ASP and you're eligible for the scholarships, either at a pharmacy school located in the US and Puerto Rico. And then unfortunately, if you already won a scholarship, so sorry, Priscilla, you are not eligible to run for or to receive a scholarship again. But if you applied before and you did not get the scholarship last time, you're allowed to apply basically until you get it. So you have X amount of times to try until you get it. I would say keep applying until you get the scholarship because you don't want to miss out on these opportunities. Some of the application requirements, academic transcript, it doesn't have to be the signed and sealed one that comes from the registrar's office. You can just go on your registration portal and print or save as a PDF the unofficial transcript, essentially just to make sure that you're above the 2.75 cutoff. Two letters of recommendation, and I'll talk about some tips and tricks later, but I would recommend the first thing you do either tonight or tomorrow, if you're going to apply for a scholarship, make sure you get those letters of rec locked down. You want to give those letter writers enough time to actually write these letters, given that they're due December 1st. Current resume or CV, and again, another tip of advice, it says resume or CV, but if you're going to be getting ready for residency, fellowship, training, anything like that, it's usually CVs that are required. So good to get in the habit of getting your CV done and locked in now. You will kind of list out a little bit of your CV as well with some leadership experiences and skills, and then an essay of no more than 500 words. Let me just say this now, 500, no more than 500 words means no more than 500 words, not you have to get to the 500 word quota. If you are concise enough to get a good essay in less than 500 words, please do so. You don't need to write a whole 500 words. Trust me, I spent more time than I wish to tell you guys trying to get to the 500 word quota. It's not a quota. As long as it's less than 500 words, you guys are good. Be concise. So with that, I'm actually going to turn it back over to Miranda, who's going to speak a little bit on the actual prompt for this year and her theme, each of us for all of us. So Miranda?
Yeah, thank you, Christian. So, like Christian said, the prompt this year for the scholarship essays are surrounded by my theme or around my theme. I'll read you the prompt and kind of explain my process and my thinking behind my theme this year. So, the prompt is think about a collaborative pharmacy project or initiative that you have been a part of. What was your role or contribution to the project or initiative, and how did it help your team reach a common goal? What did you learn about the importance of unity and team-based work within our profession? And so, like Christian said, the way that we came up with this prompt was around my presidential theme. How I came about my presidential theme was from my own experience as a student pharmacist and feeling like I was just labeled as a student pharmacist. And each of us, for all of us, is about knowing that you are much more than a student pharmacist and you are made up of characteristics and strengths and your own little personality that makes you you, and knowing that you can use your own strengths to contribute to your team, to your community, and work together. So that was the whole purpose behind my theme, and it means a lot to me, and I hope that it means a lot to you all. And just as a reminder, because this is my definition of each of us for all of us, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the same exact definition for you all. So that's the great thing about this essay is while it's surrounded around the theme, but you can take what you want out of it and write your own form of what it means to you through this essay. So thank you, Christian.
Oh, thank you, Madam President. Let me go ahead and move on. Thank you for that. So if you guys have any questions about the essay, let us know. But with that, let's go ahead and dive into, here's the QR code again. If you guys want to jump on the actual application to kind of follow along with me as I go through a little bit of the application, I'll actually go through it with you guys at the end. So I mentioned before, there is a general scholarship where I say about 18 to 20 of them. If you apply once, you're eligible for 18 to 20. But there are a few that do have special requirements, which are the ones I'm going to go through now, that are a little bit different. Some of them have different selecting committees. Some of them have different essay components based on the sponsors. So I'm going to go through those now. But for the most part, it's one application for most scholarships. That makes sense. If that's confusing, please ask at the end and I can explain later. But the ones I'm going to go through now are the specific ones that have additional components to the actual scholarship. So the first one being our Tan Hoke scholarship. And I'm going to read off his bio a little bit since it's going to sound like I'm reading. I apologize, but I'm going to read off a little bit about Tan Hoke and then a little bit about the scholarship itself. So the Tan Hoke scholarship memorializes his commitment to global community of pharmacists. As CEO and General Secretary of FIP, Tan Hoke's leadership efforts resulted in positive collaboration for FIP, both within pharmacy and at a broader level of world health. The Tan Hoke Endowed Scholarship provides an annual stipend for a student, resident, or graduating pharmacist from the United States to attend the International Pharmaceutical Federation, FIP, World Congress, which next year is going to be held in Copenhagen, Denmark. Joseph Azun was actually our recipient from this past year who got to go to South Africa. And if you guys have been following along with our social media, you saw a bunch of videos that he posted about his experience. It's a real life-changing opportunity to get to go to FIP. I kind of say that FIP is essentially APHA for the world. So they really represent all of pharmacy literally everywhere, literally across the planet. So that's a great opportunity. Again, life-changing. And Ton Hoag Scholarship is trying to fund you guys to get to actually go internationally and experience pharmacy on a global perspective. This scholarship does come with a few separate requirements, specifically the global pharmacy essay, which is listed here. And it actually comes on a separate drop-down menu within the application portal, which I will go through at the end. Like I said, I'll show you guys how that works, just because it goes through a little bit of a different process. So this one is you can think it's the international scholarship. You get to go be Pitbull and go be Mr. and Mrs. Worldwide on this one. So next one is my favorite past APHA president. So Dr. Hoag, if you watch this recording, I apologize. But unfortunately, for you, Mary Munson-Runge is my favorite past APHA president. So Mary Munson-Runge was the first woman and first African-American pharmacist to become president of the American Pharmacy Association. Her dedication to increasing diversity in memberships is still echoed in APHA's members' message today. Preference for this scholarship is going to go to the displayed minorities as defined by the NIH. American Indians or Alaska Natives, Blacks or African Americans, Hispanics or Latinos, Native Hawaiians or other Pacific Islanders. So that's the main part of this one. Is this really highlighting the mission of, or the kind of what Mary Munson-Runge stood for. The Hamilton Harris and Tucker APHA ASP Chapter President Scholarship was created with an endowment from Ed and Ann Hamilton, Betty Jean Harris, and Timothy and Diane Tucker. They established the scholarship in recognition of their long-term commitment to advancing professional pharmacy at the local, state, and national levels. The scholarship recipient will be based on their outstanding student leadership, pharmacy association involvement, and community service. So the main thing to think about with this scholarship is each chapter gets one nomination to nominate either the current chapter president of APHA ASP or their immediate past chapter president. So Camille, who's pictured here, was actually her immediate past chapter president at the time, and her chapter nominated her, and she actually won the scholarship this past year. So think of this one if you were either the immediate past APHA ASP president or the current APHA ASP president. This is going to be the scholarship you want to apply for. The different component in it is there is a notation where you have to note that you did serve in that role. And then one of the actual letters of recommendation has to come directly from that chapter advisor. So that's the little different component of this one. The Pharmacist Mutual Insurance Company is a nationally recognized leader providing insurance and risk management solutions within the insurance industry. The board of directors of Pharmacist Mutual is composed primarily of practicing pharmacists who are instrumental in developing company goals and policies. The Pharmacist Mutual Community Pharmacy Scholarship is awarded to pharmacy students annually who have demonstrated academic excellence and a commitment to advancing the future of community pharmacy in the United States. The scholarship will be based on evidence of a commitment to contributing to the advancement of community pharmacy with consideration of applicants' academic achievement, outstanding student leadership, pharmacy association involvement, and community service. So thinking this one, this is our community pharmacy scholarship, essentially. This one has a different essay component within it as well, describing how the applicant would help in the future to advance community pharmacy patient care. So that's the difference for this one is a different essay and then directly towards community pharmacy. So if you're interested in community pharmacy, definitely recommend looking into this. The Colonel Jerry W. Ross Scholarship is available to student pharmacists who meet the following criteria. Air Force pharmacy technician pursuing a degree in pharmacy or family member of an Air Force pharmacist or technician who is enrolled in an accredited college of pharmacy and demonstrates the Air Force core values of excellence, selflessness, integrity, leadership, and academics. So preference to this one goes to those who have either served in the Air Force or have family who have served in the Air Force. That one's kind of cool, I think. I don't even know what an Air Force pharmacist would do, but that sounds really cool to me. George F. Archambault. This scholarship honors George F. Archambault's long career of dedicated service to the pharmacy profession and the public health service. Archambault's impressive career includes the highest awards in pharmacy, including the 1956 Harvey A.K. Whitney Award from the American Society of Health System Pharmacists and the 1969 Remington Honor Medal from the American Pharmacists Association. In 1962, the Association of Military Surgeons presented Archambault with the Craigie Award, which recognizes contributions in the advancement of professional pharmacy in the federal government. So this is our federal government, essentially, scholarship. Preference is given to those listed below here in these bullet points, but this one also has another essay component describing how your leadership and professional experiences enhance and align with the USPHS core values and of the service of the underserved, integrity, leadership, and academics. And last but not least, Charles C. Thomas, in 1965, graduate of Auburn University Harrison School of Pharmacy. While a student at Auburn University, he founded Phi Lambda Sigma, so I'm sure some of you here are PLS members, the National Pharmacy Leadership Society. Today, the society has chapters in 98 colleges and schools of pharmacy and is continuing Thomas's vision of supporting leadership development and recognizing leadership talent in student pharmacists and practitioners. So to qualify for this scholarship, you need to be a member of PLS. Seems pretty self-explanatory. And for this one as well, part of your letter of recommendation doesn't have to involve direct speaking about APHA ASP involvement. You do still have to be a member of APHA ASP. But if you've done a lot of work with PLS, your letters of recommendation can actually be geared towards the PLS components that you've done if you haven't done as much work with APHA ASP, if that makes sense. So if you have done more with PLS, you're an APHA ASP member, you can talk about the PLS involvement for this specific scholarship. That's the one that's a little bit different for this. All right. So that's what I got for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and actually switch gears here real quick. So I'm going to stop my share and I'm going to actually pull up the application so that we can walk through it together. Because like I said, there's a few nuances that are a little bit different that may just be easier if I show you guys. Go ahead and pull that up. If anyone has a joke in the meantime while I struggle with Zoom, feel free to drop that in the chats. Or Miranda, if you have a joke, I know you're a jokester.
Why you put me on the spot like this? I'll Google one and throw one in at the end.
All right, we can live with that.
Okay.
All right. So when you go to that QR code, as I'm sure you guys have, pops up this screen directly to the application portal. Like I said, Ton Hoke has a different application portal and a dropdown. This is the dropdown that I was mentioning. So if you want to apply for Ton Hoke, you would just go here, click Ton Hoke, and it pulls up everything you need. That's my best advice for both of these scholarship drop-down menus, sorry. Save this in a separate Word doc as you're going through it on the off chance the technology fails you and it all gets deleted. Because worst case scenario, you can just copy paste everything in because some of the components are the same. So let's go through just the general one first. So it's just general stuff, first, last name, application status, your APHA member number. So this is where you have to be an APHA ASP member. Until you get down to here, a little bit about your work experience as a student pharmacist. If you don't have any work experience, you're welcome to put your APhA experience or some intern experiences that you've had, just something to talk about yourself working in a pharmacy. Academic records. I hope you guys know your APHA ASP region number. If you guys want to throw that in the chat so I can quiz you guys a little bit, then feel free to do so. And then this is where you put your anticipated graduation date, your cumulative GPA, and this is directly where you'll just drop the PDF, please. I know it says doc or PDF. It's much easier if we do PDF for your unofficial transcript. And if you are a pass-fail grade system, you can note that here. Like I said, it's a little bit redundant, but we do ask that you list your activity list again here as well. It's going to seem a little, like I said, redundant from your CV, but there is a method to the madness. So please go ahead and do so there. Extracurriculars, and then community service as well. Like I said, a lot of these scholarships highlight community service. So, Emily, I saw your question in the chat. I will definitely address that in a second. And then some miscellaneous, anything you want us to know about you as well. 2 letters of rec. The nice thing about the scholarship portal, you drop the name of, so if I want to put Brian Wall as my letter of rec writer, I would just write Brian Wall, Brian's email, and hit send request now. You can do that before you've submitted. So you don't have to wait till the very end. I can do this right now and it'll send Brian an email to submit the letter directly to the portal. So don't wait until you're done with the scholarship and with your application. You can do that tonight if you really wanted to, and it'll send them the email. And then this is where you put that 500-word essay that Miranda so graciously told us about earlier. Like I said, put it in a separate Word document before you're ready to submit, because I've done it before where I put the essay here, this portal got shut down for some reason, and then I had to essentially redo my scholarship application the night before. That was not fun. And then like the additional criteria that I went through here, like I said, I mean, I went in order of the presentation. So we'll be posting this scholarship webinar as well. So if you have more questions, you can go through and reference what I talked about today too. But go through and just fulfill each of the additional criteria if they have additional criteria. And then you'll just hit agree, save and finalize. Save does not submit. Save and finalize submits. Save is just to come back later. So once you hit save and finalize, that's when it does get posted. And then for Ton Hoke, literally runs exactly the same, like I said. So you can apply for both. You don't have to just apply for Ton Hoke or the general. You can apply for both. You just do have to submit it twice. So then you'll go down here. Don't worry about this. If you're a student, Ton Hoke, residents and fellows are allowed to apply for that as well. So this is really just for them if they're going to go ahead and put that in. But if you're a student, don't worry about that. It's not required. You can just leave it blank. Or you can practice like experiential departments say to just put NA for anything that's supposed to be blank. So like I said, exactly the same. You will have to send the letters of rec again, but they'll get two links. They essentially just upload the same letter of rec to both. And then this is where the global pharmacy essay is, and then the FIP additional question as well. So those will be within this portal. Save it on a Word doc, and then that'll be good to go. So yeah, that is our application portal. Emily asked in the chat, which is a good point to bring up, how do you find your APHA member number? You go to pharmacist.com, and then you will sign in on the login screen. I'm not going to do it on share screen because everything is saved and it will show you guys all my stuff. And you essentially go to my account, and I'll show you guys this right now. You go account, and then it should be on the opening screen where your member number is, and you'll be able to just pull that over. It's not working for me right now. I don't know why. Technical difficulties, I'll say, but you would just go to pharmacist.com, log in, hit my account, and then it should all be right there. But with that, guys, that's all I really have for you. I'll drop my email in the chat if you guys have more questions, but happy also to answer any questions you guys may have now. Or Miranda and Rachel, if there's been questions throughout and you want to bring up now that you've seen.
I did not see nor get any questions in the chat. I don't know about you, Rachel. Oh, Rachel's agreeing.
I can show you guys right here. Actually, when you hit my account on pharmacist.com, you get this page right here. Don't steal my member number, but it's right there. There you go. Great question. When would we hear back if we won/got one? It's a little variable, but you'll hear back for sure before annual meeting. Usually it's in early spring/late winter when you hear back once the scholarship selection committee actually finishes up. That's something Brian, Emily, and I will be doing on the back end, but it's usually late winter. Late winters when I heard back about my scholarship. Priscilla, I don't know if you want to chime in about when you heard back about yours.
Yes, I heard back around the first week of February.
Yeah, so early spring, late winter. And that's when you'll get the invite to the actual contributors breakfast and all the wonderful things we have for you at annual meeting if you're a scholarship recipient as well. Any more questions? If not, I know it's late. Oh, got one. Mark, go ahead.
I had a quick question. I wanted to ask when you sort of were writing your application, what was your mindset about how you would best present yourself as an applicant?
Great question. I think at the time when I was applying, I was more involved as a national leader with APHA, so I was trying to highlight that aspect. But I know a lot of students that aren't as involved, maybe on a national regional level, they really highlight their chapter level involvements. If you don't have a lot of involvement there, you can either go to the PLS one or just really highlighting what the work you've done to give back. Remember, the foundation's message is improving patient health outcomes. So if you have a lot of involvement in doing that, a lot of community service that you give back, a lot of innovative ideas that you've had, that's what you want to highlight because that is what speaks to us here at the foundation. Word of advice going into life, if you're applying for something with a company, do some research in the company. I will say that. And then another point I actually wanted to bring up, so thank you for reminding me because I forgot to bring it up. Point of advice for you guys, and I told Miranda and Rachel this beforehand. Imposter syndrome gets us all. Don't make up criteria that's not there. We went through and I actually helped revamp the criteria this year a little bit with Emily and Brian to make sure it was lock solid. Nowhere on there does it say you have to be a national leader with APHA. Nowhere on there does it say you have to be a past award winner with all these giant awards. So in life and in these scholarship applications, do not make up criteria that is not there. You all, as long as you meet the criteria, are very well and capable of winning a scholarship. And that's really my advice for applying. So everyone on this meeting, go apply. Why not? You have an opportunity to win $1,000 and really start building your professional portfolio. And this could be the stepping stone for you if you don't have that involvement yet. So that's my best advice for life, I guess. Yes. Emily put in the chat, judges want to hear about your pharmacy and your non-pharmacy activities. So really highlighting yourself as a whole person. Great point.
Thank you so much for that.
Of course. Yes. So for Karen put in the chat, one would have to wait next year to apply if one started pharmacy school this fall. Yeah. So the requirement is to have one full year of pharmacy school completed. So good to get an idea of what the application looks like and what the criteria is going to look like. It's not going to change much to next year. So that way, when you come next fall, you're ready to apply. They do open up in September, so you can get a head start next year if you really wanted to. Of course. All right, guys, any last parting questions? Otherwise, I will turn it back to Miranda and Rachel if there's any parting national leader announcements before we head out for the night.
I don't have any announcements. I just really want to drill what Christian said that do not sell yourself short and don't start putting these thoughts in your head that you can't get it because you don't know until you apply for it. One piece of advice that I received when I was applying for scholarships, not APHA scholarships, but scholarships in general, was the judges or the people reading the scholarships love to hear about stories. So make sure you're telling your story through your essay as well, not just describing, I was a leader here and I was a leader there, and these are my achievements, but telling the story of how you did that and how it impacts you and how it impacts others. I think that'll be really beneficial in your essays as well. That's my final advice. And you guys are more than welcome. I will drop my email in the chat as well. More than welcome to reach out to me if anything pops up, even if it's not like scholarship related stuff throughout the year. I am a student pharmacist, like I said, so if you need help with literally anything else through your student pharmacist journey, I'm here for you all. But that is all I have, and I will send you on your way. But thank you guys for joining, and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.